Hi guys, I am going to attempt to do I hope in just one part, my weaning story with Carson. I did this video a while back and then it got deleted and I got irritated with the camera. But anyways, I'm sure you all know how that goes. Okay, so Carson nursed, until he was 25 months old. That's the short version. Now, the long version of that is when he was about, let's see, 18 to 20 months old or so, he got to where he was only nursing at nap time and at bedtime. And he did that up and through he weaned. When he turned 2, I was 17 or 18 weeks pregnant. And with that comes sore nipples and breasts and everything all to begin with that I'm sure you guys all know about. So I didn't really care if he nursed or didn't nurse or whatever he wanted to do. But I think, one day I was laying him down for a nap and I just thought, I wonder if he would go for reading a book instead of nursing, because ultimately my thought was, if he doesn't want anything to do with this, he'll obviously let me know, and I'll just nurse him, no big deal. So I tried it, and he was fine with it. He didn't have any complaints whatsoever. So he slept for his normal, 2-hour nap, and then the next day, I thought, I wonder if I could get away with doing that again. Well, he wasn't so keen on the idea that time because he was like, no way, what are you trying to do here? So I said, okay, well, how about we nurse until Mommy counts to 10? And so we counted to 10, he was done, we read the book, he went to sleep. So then, hang on a second. So that worked, but I never touched bedtime routine yet. I didn't want to mess with anything at bedtime. I didn't want to do too much too fast, and he still nursed it, to go to sleep at night and then through the night. Not that often, but still, he did definitely get up at least once per night. So we just went on for the next few days with just focusing on nap time. Just asking, hey, how about we read a book or, whatever. And it was, some days I felt like it was one step forward, 2 steps back, but at the same time, I wanted it to be his idea also. I didn't want to force him into anything that he wasn't ready for or anything like that. So, when we had a few successful nights of that, I think it was like day 5, 6, and 7 or something. It's been a while, so I don't remember exactly how it went. I wish I would have written down our weaning experience as far as the days are concerned, but I didn't. So anyway, once that worked, I decided to attempt to try at least the bedtime feeding. We had tried night weaning before, and that was terrible and a horrible idea, and it was not a good experience for any of us. We never left him alone to cry it out, but we definitely tried to parent him to sleep in the middle of the night in other ways, and he just wasn't having it whatsoever. So we just were like, all right, he's obviously not ready, and we went on. Because it was easier for us to get sleep than it was to stay up all night trying to force him to quit nursing or sleep through the night or whatever. So we attempted the nighttime, and my husband put him to sleep, and he had for a while, but usually I would nurse him and then my husband would come in and put him the rest of the way to sleep. Well, I didn't come in, and that was fine. Of course, the first night it was almost identical to the nap time, but then eventually, and if he asked for me, if he just wasn't having it, I didn't make him beg or cry for a certain amount of time before I just went in there. I just nursed him. It was no big deal. But we asked every night, hey, Daddy is just going to put you to sleep, okay? And he'd say, okay. So anyway, when that worked, it was about 2 weeks total time. And he eventually, probably, I want to say within 10 days or so, he got to where he wasn't nursing at all. And he quit eating at night, just all on his own. And that was so nice, being, pregnant and just being able to sleep. And he went from nursing on me every night to, in turn, nursing on my husband. He would make him take his shirt off at night, and he'd rub his skin when he went to sleep. And he still does that to this day. He'll come in our room in the middle of the night at some point, and he'll snuggle up next to my husband and just rub his shoulder. He's always been a skin baby, so he'll find some exposed skin on you and just rub. And that's his nursing. And, I laugh at my husband sometimes because he's like, oh, he was rubbing on me all night long. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I nursed him for 2 years. So he's like, when can I complain? And I always tell him, when he turns 4, then we can talk. So he's about to turn 4 in December, but he is, as far as nighttime's concerned, he starts out every night in his bed, in his room. We lay down with him to go to sleep because there's no use in torturing the poor kid. He'll go to sleep by himself whenever he's ready. And then, we just get up when he goes to sleep, and at some point during the night, he comes in and just pops in bed with us. No big deal. We have a house rule that as long as everybody's sleeping, I don't care if you're sleeping upside down on the bathroom floor. As long as you're asleep at night and you're comfortable, you can sleep wherever you want. So, anyway, but last night, actually, and this is a huge step, he slept in his room till 6 a.m. And he didn't come in our room till 6 o'clock in the morning. And we have a king-size bed, but with 2 kids, and, it gets kind of cramped sometimes, but it's worth it to be able to get a decent night's sleep. So, anyway, if you guys have any questions, I can't really think of anything else, but if you have any questions about the process, or just what worked for us, what didn't, and different things we might have tried, just ask. I'm probably forgetting things, but this was also, a year and a half ago. And, yeah. So, anyway, that's it. And that's our weaning story. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.